colleagues and I recently co-authored the second edition of Introduction to the Due Diligence Process, which was published by the Regulatory Affairs Professional Society, also known as RAPS. The book provides a high-level guide through the transactional due diligence process from a regulatory affairs perspective. Our goal in writing it was to help regulatory affairs professionals, company executives, attorneys, and others learn about the due diligence process and the roles and responsibilities regulatory professionals in particular play in the overall diligence and risk assessment process. So for starters, what is the due diligence process and why is it important? Well, in general, there are three main objectives to the due diligence process from the point of view of an acquirer of a new technology or an acquirer of a corporate entity, oftentimes called the target. Those three objectives are: 1. Gain a working knowledge of the potential target and its operations. 2. Assess the target's value. And 3. Identify the risks related to the potential acquisition, or as some might say, the investment. To meet those three objectives, the acquirer engages in a fact-finding to understand the target's operations, identify possible synergies, and discover risks. The scope and depth of that fact-finding mission really depends on the nuances of the transaction in question and of the target itself. Risks or potential liabilities identified during the due diligence process can be evaluated and possibly mitigated by pre-transaction remediation, post-transaction obligations, or allocating the economic risks of certain items from one party to another. Aside from providing a general understanding of the due diligence process, the second edition of Introduction to the Due Diligence Process also modernizes the first edition by incorporating contemporary elements of the due diligence process. For instance, rather than focusing on traditional and now outdated processes of on-site, in-person document review, we focus on the use of virtual data rooms. We also sought to further offer perspectives on the role of regulatory counsel, both internal and external, as a key component of the overall regulatory diligence process. Additionally, we explore various subjects, both helpful to the acquirer and the target, such as understanding regulatory considerations, creating questions and documenting requests that will provide key information about the target, the different due diligence responsibilities of the target's team versus the responsibilities of the acquirer's team, functions of clinical and non-clinical experts, and how to negotiate regulatory milestones in order to complete the transaction. Ultimately, a potential transaction's financial and strategic success may depend on the quality and depth of the acquirer's due diligence process. So we hope this book highlights the importance of the due diligence process and that it can serve as a valuable resource for companies seeking to enter into potential business transactions.